Hello Amazon shoppers. I'm taking a look at the iLuv Collision Bluetooth speaker today. Actually, I like this really a lot because it's very slim and very rubberized. The actual little flap where the charging port goes is actually really well, does a really good job of covering the ports, which is nice. Some of them, they're okay. This one is actually really nice. Has a nice little, I guess, aluminum Carabineer clip. Has a metal face, and the rest is all rubberized. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. I've got it plugged in charging just to show you the actual red LED. So we'll go ahead and remove that, and we'll take a look real quick. You have your two speakers. You can't really probably make it out too well, but inside. And over here you have your charging port, your 3.5 millimeter audio connection in the event that you don't want to use Bluetooth, would rather plug it in, and you have your reset button. So we're going to go ahead and put this back in place. Like I said, this thing is actually very nice. Alright, so that's nice and seated. The back side is fully rubber. Bottom, rubber. All the sides. And so you have this nice rubber piece on the end for the Carabineer clip. It's included. You do have a micro USB charging cable. There's no 3.5 millimeter audio cable, which is kind of odd because a lot of these include that, but you know, can't have everything. Really nice box. Presentation wise, I mean, it just looks good, and it actually has some useful information, and you're not going to find really a lot of information, sadly, in this paperwork that's included, this user manual. This is pretty much useless, I'll be honest, because it doesn't really give you any information. The only thing you really get is 8 hours of playback time. I would say an educated guess on charging time, because I haven't actually charged it a lot. I've just been playing with it with what charge it came with, and I have so many different Bluetooth speakers that I never listen to music long enough to actually run one completely down. So educated guess would say 2.5 or 2.5 hours, roughly 3 hours probably is what you're going to need for a full charge if you run it pretty much all the way down. One cool thing that I like also is your track buttons for next track and previous track are separate from your volume buttons. I hate how so many Bluetooth devices have short presses and long presses, and it varies sometimes between devices. So sometimes, because I have multiple like headsets and Bluetooth speakers and different things, I'll long press when I should be short pressing, and vice versa. So that's really annoying. You have a separate power button from your play pause button and your answer a call or hang up call button. So that's cool. So you got your power button, your track navigation, your volume, and you have your play pause and your answer and hang up for the actual phone calls. So that's all really cool. Now hopefully I'm not gonna, well, let me move this stuff. We took a look at this stuff, so let's move this stuff out of the way. And you know, you can see you have a little micro USB charging cable. Let's get a little idea of measurement for size on this. So you're looking at 7 1/4. That's measuring to the outside edge of this. You're looking at 3 1/8 of an inch in that way, and in overall thickness you are looking at 1 3/8 of an inch, and that is almost about as exact as you're going to get in this particular measurement. Alright, so the sound on this is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Alright, I want to make sure that it's paired. I believe it is. Yes, it is paired. And we'll go ahead and play some music. One of my favorite songs. Sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. So, nice range of volume. Gets It's loud. So we'll pause that for a second. So it gets very loud, as you heard. It doesn't get distorted. I really like the speaker. Like I said, very impressed with it. Let me turn the volume down a little. Alright, so we got it turned down. Now, let's see. Alright. So you can hear it's playing. Alright. Turned it on. So that was a drop from straight onto a wooden table on its side from basically about 1 foot. It turned the unit off, but I turned it back on, it kept playing. First time I've ever dropped it. It says it's shockproof. Yeah, it turned it off, but it kept working. Now, this water over here, it's really not waterproof per se, but I figure if it can accept streams and jets of water, then it can withstand a dunk, a pretty quick dunk. So, another first time since I have not tested this. Turn it up and we'll see. Alright, so first time for a drop test and the first time for a water resistance test, and it still plays. I paused it, of course. Light's still lit up, but as you can hear, still playing. So survived the shock test from at least 1 foot drop, and it survived dunking, a full submersion in water. I didn't really wait long, but again, like I said, it's not really made to be completely submerged. It's not listed as waterproof, it's listed as water resistant. So I'm impressed with it enough that, you know, if I can drop it in water, pick it back up, which I'm pretty much sure most people would do in the event that they dropped it accidentally. And yeah, I wish that the documentation was better, but I like the sound. I think it has nice treble, bass, clarity, high volume, low volume, gets very loud. So, I mean, everything about it I'm very happy with. Like I said, you see it does turn off when it receives too much of a shock, but I don't think that's that big a deal. Turn it back on. Give it a second to pair automatically. My phone sitting here. It's paired. Hit play again. So the only thing is, when it turns off via shock, it returns at a little higher volume, I think, than it was previously at, but it works. I mean, small shock doesn't seem to affect it. Pretty significant shock does. I'm a little concerned that the front here, this metal portion, it's kind of raised up. It's not really protected, so eventually this will probably end up with damage if it's dropped too much, but the entire unit otherwise is very well protected, and it survived full submersion, so water resistance is certain. Waterproof is possible to a degree, and other than that, it works. Say, try to get all the water out of it and keep using it. And if anything changes, I'll update the review accordingly. Thanks for watching.